Bring us back to the childhood. Who was Ben Alakwa as a little kid? What did life look like back then? Where did all this start from?
I think personally, as a kid, I had an older sister. So it was my mother, my father, and my older sister. And, very early on, she became my direct competition. My sister, to pre-frame, was a very dominant individual. I used to joke and say that I thought my sister was going to be the first prime minister, a female prime minister of Australia. She was the captain of the debating team. She won both, state and national public speaking competitions. So, to find a voice in my house was a challenge for me. And, she was a great dancer, a fantastic martial artist. So, very early on, she became, my competition, and so we went to bat often. We had a 5-year gap in age between us, so didn't share a lot in common. So, that's where that sort of competitive streak, I think, started very early in my household. Me as a kid always wanted to strive to grow. I guess that was really the spark as a young boy. There wasn't a challenge that was presented in front that I didn't want to get better at if I wasn't great at it, or really take it on.
It's funny that you say that, because like now that you just said that, you find that your first competition is your siblings.
Yeah.
Like that's how life is, because you're in competition, whether it's favoritism or sports or just trying to be them. It's like that.
Yeah. You're looking up, you're looking up to them, obviously, in some respects. And my sister was a very powerful character, still is a very powerful character. So, for me to find who I was in my household was a challenge, a real challenge. So, there were often times when I tried to break out and become who I was. My sister got accepted in primary school to a highly talented, gifted school where she had to actually do a test for and make it. I sat that same test and failed. So I was always on the back foot behind my sister, trying to break out and be who I was, So